Hey, what's up? My name's Gazy, and I didn't make it into the JET program for the 2023-2024 application dispersal year, and I realized why. So I had prepared. I had prepared so hard. Like many people who are trying to get into the JET program, like you spend so much time like looking up other JETs and watching their videos, like their beginning videos, and you're taking so many notes, you're taking so many tips and tricks and trying to learn what you can do and what you shouldn't do when you're applying to the JET program. Now, I took all that for like 2 years hardcore, because I missed out. I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? Let me look up. And I did all that. I worked pretty hard too. And I watched the videos with writing an essay and all that kind of stuff. And I did my best. But there was something weird that happened when I was writing my statement of purpose, that I was trying to articulate something. Now, a lot of the people who were suggesting what you should write and stuff in your statement of purpose, they're giving you what you should write. Go through that, that's fine. But it's something that is personal. And when I started writing my statement of purpose, I realized that perhaps my age and my certain life experiences now are making me someone that might not be good for the JET program. So, like, for example, I was writing and they were saying, like, why do you want to come to Japan? And there's a list of prompts for your statement of purpose, like points that you have to hit. And what I did was I wrote answers to all those bullet points. And then it was just 2 pages, double spaced. So you have to find a way to tie everything together. And since my bachelor's degree is in English and my master's degree is in TESOL, teaching English to speakers of other languages, I was like, I have a lot of this in the bag. However, as I was writing the essay, I felt that my worldview was a lot larger than the poignancy of the JET program and what they're specifically looking for. I post a video, so you guys can check that out here on my YouTube channel, where I was just really depressed and really sad, and I went to Reddit, and I got a lot of judgment, which was very surprising. Like a lot of people making assumptions about myself, but also people who were sharing why I might not be a good candidate because of, these things. And they were like, it might be a nightmare for you. Like, what happens if you go to the JET program and they misuse you? Like, if they just use you to teach ABC and, dog, cat, house, mom, dad. Like, would that be enough? And so that hit me. That really hit me. And while I was feeling sad, I was gaining conception. Maybe not conception. I was gaining the answers. Like, I was like, wow, maybe it was a good thing that I didn't get accepted. There were some other things. Like, I really wanted to be accepted. I really wanted to go with my wife overseas, have a salary, have an apartment, have something established, be able to travel, be able to rent my present home, and get that passive income, and also gain income while I was there. I was looking at different avenues. The health insurance in Japan would be amazing to have for a period of time. That was something that was great. I thought that maybe I could make great connections while I was in the JET program, so that maybe I could even be a professor of English or something with my master's degree at like maybe Tokyo University or Kyoto University or something like that. I was really excited for all these things, and so much hope, so much planning, as you can see, so much hope and planning, and it didn't turn out. There was a lot that was against me with the JET program, as far as being a hurdle that I would have had to overcome which would mostly be like the immediacy. You don't realize that the second you turn in your application and you have to wait. That's November till like early December. But there's those few weeks in between December and January, they are the longest weeks, because right after that, if you get accepted for an interview, you need to prepare, not only just for the interview, but for the fact that you're going to be overseas. Now you got to have enough funds, so you have to be working and save money. And so that's a hassle, budgeting, right? So you have to do that. You have to make, like break ties, or at least suspend the ties of friendships and stuff in your life while you're doing that. You have to leave your job, of course. If you have a car, you might have to sell it here in the country that you're in. You might have to sell that. So much. And I don't think I was ready for that also. For leading the JET for if I were to have been accepted into the JET program. Also, because there are realities. One I didn't mention, if you have a loved one that passes away, you can't necessarily just say, hey, Japan, my mom died, I gotta go back to America for 2 weeks or something. I don't know how that can be done, but I can kind of infer that it would be much more difficult, and for you to do that in the JET program, to go and come back. I don't know how they feel. Like, it's not America that you're going to, so certain luxuries that we have here, they might not have somewhere else. And I guess this is the last biggest thing that I want to share. I was deluded with the JET program YouTubers and all these people in Japan. Like, all these people, all these young adults, because there's mostly young adults, and the families that are in Japan, there are some families, like I watch a lot of them, like, Paolo in Japan, in Tokyo. He's awesome, he's very fun to watch. But it was these YouTubers that kind of gave me a mysticism when I watched them, in Japan. A lot of these people, you'll find them abroad it's always like abroad in, or like someone's name in Japan or something like that. It will always be that concentrated thing. Or there will be like a Japanese word, like gaijin something. And it's like, okay, I get it. You're a person that's a foreigner in Japan. It is I don't want to say it's a fetishization, but it's definitely only showing the light, glorious, fun, you gotta do this, traveling, all that kind of it's not vanity, but also like the wanderlust, envy, like feeding into that. Like 5 onsens you have to visit, and meanwhile you're in like Kansas, and if you want a hot tub, you just go to the bathtub, put on hot water, and just blow bubbles and hope that's an onsen experience for you. It's that light that I got caught up in. Like, you watch someone, like I would watch, Abroad in Japan, Chris Abroad. I would watch Garnt. I would watch Charla. I would watch, Iron Mouse's friend. What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. But I would watch all these foreigners in Japan, and I would really envy wanting to be in Japan. And that was not cool. And that was not good. It could be the possible envy of wishing I was there and enjoying that experience that they are clearly enjoying and having fun in. It could be the travel idea of just being in a place and exploring. That was one thing. It was that kind of thing that I watched, and quite frankly, it was not good for me. Straight up, for 2 years I'd watch their videos, back to back, hours and hours, just watching these people just enjoy so much of this wonderful country, I wanted to partake in it hardcore. I really wanted to be there, and I thought that many of their introductions to being in Japan came from the JET program, and I thought that could have been me too. But I am actually glad that at this point in my life it is not. And it took me like 3 weeks. Like, I have a video that I'm working on right now that's apart from JET program. It's talking about the calling idea of having a calling rather than a career. But it was that envy that I had, that I really wanted to be a part of that cohort of people who were like, yeah, I was in the JET program. So this is not necessarily saying anything against to the people that I just mentioned about their YouTube channels and the content that they create. It's more about the facade, the glaze that happens when you watch video content on YouTube of someone doing something or someone saying something, and you not understanding the everything outside of the frame of what they're experiencing. Like, even though they'll say, you know, like the girls who go to Japan, even though they'll talk about how it is on the trains, or the chikan, all these like weird like hentai dudes or chicks who like follow them and stuff, or the dudes who, you know, want to go to like a love hotel to sleep because it's cheap, and then being judged based off of their orientation, which is, they're probably hetero, they just want to go to sleep at a love hotel, but them being judged because of an assumption. Like the ugly stuff that people don't talk about when it comes to a foreign country and being in Japan. So this video I really just wanted to make to share that while I didn't get accepted into the JET program, and perhaps you did not get accepted into the JET program, even though that may or may not be the case, it still can be a good thing. As long as you just like sit down and really think over what your goals are, outside of everybody, outside of all the content that you've ingested, outside of the dreams that you have. What is it, like, maybe about you specifically that you want to be in Japan? And maybe there's a time frame that will fit that in sooner or later. So keep your chin up, because that's something that I had to do. Keep smiling and just hope. Just keep on hoping, because it's never a bad thing to have hope or faith. So my name's Gazy. Take care, guys. God bless. And thanks for watching.